The season finale of 2024 has been wild, but the rest of this year had a lot going on as well. Now that this year is winding down, let's take a look back at GOA's top 10 hard-fought victories in defending and restoring gun rights. I'm Ben, and you're watching the last Minuteman Moment of 2024. Before I get into the video, I wanted to let you know that we've recently announced the dates for Goals 2025. Next year's Gun Owners Advocacy and Leadership Summit will be held August 9th and 10th in Knoxville, Tennessee. Come out and see your favorite manufacturers, attend activism trainings, and hear from the top voices in the Second Amendment community and beyond. The best part? It's free for all GOA members. Our first event was such a massive success thanks to you, our members. We're excited to see all of you again in 2025. Make sure you subscribe to our emails and follow us on social media so you'll be the first to know when registration opens. Okay, now back to the video. It's been a great year for the fight for gun rights. We at GOA had a ton of victories and helped hundreds of pro-Second Amendment candidates win their elections. With so many wins to choose from this year, we narrowed it down to 10 of our favorites to share. So, let's start off with one of the biggest wins this year. Number 1. We secured an injunction against ATF registering GOA members. Earlier this year, we secured a massive injunction against the ATF, halting their enforcement of the Engage in the Business rule, named because it required gun owners to become gun dealers prior to selling firearms from their private collections. Thanks to our lawsuit, Texas v. ATF, all GOA members, along with residents of the states of Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Utah, and more, are protected from ATF's tyrannical new rule that forced the registration of all firearms by mandating background checks on all private sales. Now, we're continuing this fight into the new year with the final decision in our case expected in 2025. Now, number 2. The Supreme Court strikes down the bump stock ban with the case Garland v. Cargill. The case itself is named after Michael Cargill, the Texas gun store owner who brought the legal action. Cargill said he was thrilled with GOA's amicus filing in his case, as our friend of the court brief was very hard-hitting. So much so, it forced Biden's Solicitor General to specifically address our arguments in a losing attempt to salvage the Biden administration's case. Number 3. GOA fought and repealed an unconstitutional veteran gun ban. Veterans Day in 2024 marked the first time since the days of the Clinton administration that veterans did not have to fear being disarmed by anti-gun bureaucrats. To date, more than 250,000 veterans have been denied their Second Amendment rights simply because they were assigned a financial advisor. Gun Owners of America was proud to work with veteran groups and our allies in the House to pass monumental language that stops the VA from sending names to the FBI NICS system. This was a huge win for veteran gun owners. Number 4, a historic ATF budget cut. In a massive victory, we worked with House leaders to cut over $120 million from the ATF's budget this year and force the agency to speed up their approval of e-forms for suppressors. Now, this is the largest ever cut in ATF history. It was done during the most anti-gun presidential administration ever. This win marks a major turning point in the fight against the ATF by proving there is no risk in cutting funding from this pseudo-law enforcement agency. Number 5. All of GOA's work in the States. We were very active in the States this year. West Coast highlights include GOA's legal team working to strike down bans on concealed carry in California and New Mexico. On the other side of the country, GOA assisted efforts to defeat so-called assault weapons bans and waiting periods in Virginia. To the north, GOA teams lobbied to defeat or stall multiple gun control proposals in the Pennsylvania legislature and then exposed the governor's effort to slip gun control into the budget. We blew the whistle on this sneak attack and successfully lobbied to get the firearms restrictions removed. This victory led Senator Doug Mastriano to thank GOA Pennsylvania Director Val Fennell, saying, "We can't do this without you and GOA." Number 6. Constitutional carry becomes law in 2 more states. In 2024, 2 new states joined the Constitutional Carry Club by removing permit requirements for carrying a concealed firearm. In Louisiana, Governor Jeff Landry signed the GOA-backed Constitutional Carry Bill, making it one of the strongest laws in the nation. Then just 2 days later, South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster signed their permitless carry bill into law. While South Carolina's version is not perfect, it's a good step in the right direction and brings the total number of permitless carry states to 29. Number 7 is our inaugural Goals Convention. Our first annual convention, the Gun Owners Advocacy and Leadership Summit, was an impressive display of the firearms industry, pro-Second Amendment advocacy, and of course, our incredible membership. There are 120,000 square feet of guns and gear, over 75 speakers and workshops, and 2 dedicated kit areas. Altogether, this made the first annual event a smashing success. We're honored to host over 5,000 GOA members on site and more than 500,000 people streaming the event online. We can't wait to see GOA members at the next year's goals. Number 8. GOA's sweeping pro-gun victories on Election Day. Gun Owners of America helped nearly 200 GOA-endorsed candidates win election to either their respective state legislature or Congress. One of our biggest priorities was flipping the U.S. Senate and taking the gavel out of the hands of anti-gun Senator Chuck Schumer. Key races involved re-electing Senator Ted Cruz in Texas and defeating Gun 2A compromiser John Tester in Montana. At the presidential level, GOA coordinated a massive 675,000 message campaign in partnership with Hunter Nation to mobilize hunters and gun owners, thus helping to defeat Kamala Harris. GOA worked to mobilize thousands of pro-gun voters in Pennsylvania, Arizona, Wisconsin, and all across the country. Number 9. GOA's lawsuit causes New York City to issue out-of-state permits for the first time ever. In our lawsuit, Higby v. James, we're suing over New York State's refusal to issue out-of-state permits to anyone who isn't a New York resident. This includes those who live in Connecticut or New Jersey who regularly commute into New York for work. Our plaintiff is none other than Carl Higby, host of the Carl Higby Frontline Show on Newsmax. Well, thanks to our lawsuit, New York City issued an emergency order to begin accepting applications from out-of-state residents. This is a direct cause from our suit against the state. We're going to continue this fight until the rest of New York State falls in line. But this is a huge win for gun owners behind enemy lines in the Big Apple. Also, we filed a ton of amicus briefs this year, 24 to be exact. These friend of the court briefs were filed in support of tons of cases, ranging from challenging so-called assault weapons bans, gun-free zones, to opposing the legal attack by the Mexican government against the firearms industry. And currently, we're engaged in more than 24 lawsuits in 12 states and the federal courts, protecting gun rights. And lastly, number 10, GOA launches inaugural National Women's Range Day. This year, we celebrated a major milestone by hosting our inaugural Women's Range Day in Texas, coinciding with International Women's Day. Over 300 attendees and 50 pro-gun female content creators came together in Dallas for a memorable day of firearms training, concealed carry education, activism workshops, and more. In this first year, we reached venue capacity, a testament to the demand and enthusiasm for women in the firearms space. We're currently planning for an even bigger and better Women's Range Day in 2025. This year and every year, we at GOA are serious about our commitment to empowering women with the knowledge and tools to protect and defend themselves. But we couldn't do any of this without our members. We wanted to take this time to say thank you. Your support means that we can continue to fight these battles wherever the Second Amendment is being infringed. And if you aren't a GOA member currently, consider signing up at gunowners.org. We'll see you in 2025.